be Doom of the Gods, who will might, who possibly will stop XDG from their 2-pit. But we move forward to our drafting phase. This is the round one of our first best of three series semifinals round. Of course, might be the potential ban sales are the current favorites, like that of the Dolia, Dacia. But you, Sedge, do you have any favorites in here in terms of like the bans?
The bans, based on the previous tournaments that I've watched, most of the priority bans must be Heino. We see Arlie. We see different heroes that can dominate early game as well as Lianpo. So there's a lot of possible meta picks that can be banned throughout the series. But selecting to ban the Jing for the team of XCG, I think they wanna address the problem on their backline assassination prowess that Doom of the Gods will serve and also connect against them. So might as well just cut those heroes that can easily assassinate your main carries.
That is so true. And just to take note, though, that the Daciao is available. Hopefully, the Doom of the Gods team will actually ban that one out. Just like what we have mentioned, they're going to be banning out the Daciao. You have mentioned about the Arlie. From yesterday, Arlie was actually a favorite ban from our teams, and right now he's currently available. Let's see if XDG is going to be prioritizing that, or will they actually prio other heroes like that of, but no, it was already answered. Arlie will be shown up in here as the first pick.
And as I mentioned earlier, Arlie is one of those heroes from the farm lane that can easily give you mid-game to late-game spike, especially this is a mobile hero. He can give you so much problem during the two fights. He can deal a massive blows of damage. You have those quick reposition during the two fights for you to become squishy and unable to be targeted by the members of your opponent. But having the Arlie, it's a scaling hero. You need 2 to 3 items for you to deal enough damage and also just to downgrade the HP bars of the tanky frontliners that Doom of the Gods have. But selecting the first two picks, Direnji and also Zhang Fei, will be get by our Doom of the Gods.
Yes, I mean this combination between the Zhangfei as well as the Renji, while you do know that in terms of giving the protection, the shielding, the engage and the disengage as well, definitely the Zhangfei can do that. But the Zhangfei will have to be very careful from the pokes that maybe this Lady Jen can actually do, and maybe even the Arlie, because it will definitely hurt a lot. So itemization in here will definitely be something that they have to be mindful.
And having the Elaine as well for the XDG Kaisaya, it will give them enough time to become more invincible in those team fights because of the death at sunset that this Elaine can provide, and especially reaching the backline. He will be a great initiator to set up the team fights or maybe just poke the main supplier or main carry of the Dooms of the Gods, which is TNG. But having the Lady Gen for the XDG, it will allows them to deal some initial pokes, initial pressure against those tanky frontliners that Dooms of the God has. And Zhang Fei, even though you have the crowd control, but still you need to calculate your timing and also your setups, because it will be a great time for you to give advantage to your team as well.
Definitely. But in here, Mulan has actually been picked out in here. Another good Clash laner that we have in the draft right now that could set up pick-offs. Maybe this Mulan could potentially target out the Arlie or maybe the Lady Jen from stopping them to actually get the itemization that they need. But of course, gonna be tricky in terms of waiting for the farm that she actually will need. Definitely, she would want to have her Blooming Blade ultimate readily available to set up those winning moments or winning ganks that they can. But this makes us wonder, as we head on to our second phase of the draft, we will be banned. We might be able to see some targeted bans in here on the jungle side of Doom of the Gods, as they haven't picked out any jungles in here as of yet. But for the meantime, they have banned out the Diao Chan in here, which we have seen from yesterday. Flowery potential, once you're there, it's going to be almost unlimited set of pokes and HP regeneration. So I think this is also a nice targeted mid lane ban up against Doom of the Gods.
I think Kaisaya, both of the teams do their scouting reports. Especially, that's the importance if you have a coach and analyst on your team, because it will give you so much information on what's going to happen during the banning and picking selection. At the same time, just to have that insight where we can find the weakness spot of your opponent. So right away, for the both teams, it's all about being creative and be focused on those picking and banning selection, because the team composition and also the bans will be a vital part for you to win the game 60%. So if you draft well during the picking phase or the draft pick, it will give you so much lightweight feeling when it comes on giving pressure on your opponent.
Definitely. But for the meantime, Yuhuan pick in here. We don't know if this will actually go into the jungle or onto the mid, because several games from yesterday we've seen Yuhuan actually being picked as a mid laner as well. Because, of course, with the unending sorrow, the Yuhuan can actually be safe from Lady Jen's damage in here from Destructive Deluge. But for the meantime, Kaiser, Yarya pick in here. I love the Yarya pick. Definitely the Yarya can actually, go in on the Arlie, whether it be the Arlie, Kaiser, and even the lane. Like, she has a lot of selection in here. Like, if the Arlie dies, and then, okay, I go into the Kaiser. And most especially if she goes into the Kaiser, it's going to be almost an unlimited or like an undying immortal Kaiser in here. So this is pretty interesting. It seems like in terms of the sustain and the shielding, there is also so much power coming from the side of XCG.
Agree, Kaisaya. And for the XDG, I must say that they focus on their mobility and also tankiness during the early game, because they have Kaiser as their main jungler. You have Yarya for additional assistance during the fights, and you can give spacing for your main carries. Meanwhile, for the team of the Doom of the Gods, I must say they are relying on their prowess when it comes on the utility, because this U1 can help them during the team fights. You can use the ultimate funding experience team competition that can go for one rotation, 1-3-1 rotation. So there's a lot of things gonna happen when it comes on the early stages of our game.
I love that ultimate bonding experience. When you're with the Yuan, sure, go nearby the Yuan and get the kills from her Melody of Peace. But yeah, we now can see that the Yuan will actually go into the jungle instead of the mid, and Joyu will actually go onto the mid instead. And now we head onto the Gorge. Again, this is XDG versus DOTG, your first semifinals best of 3 series for tonight. Brought to you by Clash on Air. This is going to be super exciting, Sedge.
This is exciting because this is the first semifinals game that we're gonna cast for our Clash on Air season number 2. Many teams, 32 teams, but now we are down to the top 4. XDG is looking forward to claim back the trophy once more, because they are the season 1 champions. So this time they have a shot to prolong that reign, as they will try to complete the back-to-back champion for our Clash on Air Cup. But for the DOTG, it's a challenge that you need to overcome, Kaisaya, because if they are able to shut down XDG, it will give them so much momentum and also confidence throughout the series.
For sure, for sure. But however, onto the middle lane, Joyu actually had a tough time in the middle lane, getting poked down by Owol into the mid. Plus, of course, Ayana Koji was actually in there. The Kaiser just, making it hard for the life of Natos into the middle lane. But for the meantime, it seems like there is a rotation going towards the middle lane part of the map. I wonder if they're going to go for the tussle already. It seems like super low on HP in here is Ayana Koji. Will he actually go down? He goes back onto the fight, but in here, the rest of the members of Team DOTG is actually going to get the first blood. That is going to be secured by our Mulan. But then again, a 1-for-1 exchange, as Wolf actually goes down as well. But no, Arlie would want more revenge for his teammates as he gets one more kill.
What a play for the team of our XDG, trading the most important objective for the early game to stop and also shut down the jungler of the OTG. It will give them enough time to have advantage when it comes on jungle level gap. And this Kaiser of Ayana Koji needs to capitalize his team right now when it comes on getting some neutral objectives and securing the jungle camp positioning for the XTG jungler. But for the DOTG, I want to see how they will respond in this kind of pressure. Even though they get the head of Owol of Lady Jen, but I think they need to invest more time to give their DRNG a lot of time to scale and to secure his item.
Definitely, we would want that, but hold the thought, because into the middle lane, almost getting killed is our Kaiser. Fortunately, There goes the healing due. At the same time, of course, some HP regeneration innately that he has in his kit. But yeah, I mean, this is no way after format it game time at the moment. So I think there's still more way for DOTG to catch up in terms of gold.
And for the DOTG Kaisaya, I want to see how this Zhang Fei can be a pseudo tank for them because he has the tankiness in his side. At the same time, you need to connect also all those crowd control that you have for you to set up a good team fight against XDG. And for the XDG, this is one of their advantages right now because of their squishiness and also mobility. They have those team composition that item dependent but very deadly during the mid game to latter stages of the game, especially talking about the RD power. Because Shinji, if he claims all the items that he needs, he can easily shut down and also shred down those high HP power heroes from the team of our DOTG, and we are seeing another Tyrant battle.
Yes, indeed. And here we go, super low on HP right now. But there goes the steal and his gear coming from the Kaiser, but it costs him his life. But then again, everyone else on from the side of XDG is actually trying to obliterate the rest of the members of DOTG. What a free hit coming from Shinji in there. Gonna go for the double kill thanks to the shield coming from the Yarya, but make it triple kill. She's even more hungry because he wants more claim onto the kills up against DOTG. And now they got a position and actually taking down the tower on the bot.
What a play for the team of our XDG. What a great positioning during that team fight. They are able to take the Tyrant and as well as make some head counts against the DOTG. And this is a great advantage that they gained right now because when it comes on invading the jungle camp, Azor and Crimson Golem, this will be a defensive mode strategy that DOTG needs to conduct for them to reclaim the lead or most probably to catch up because XDG having a better start in this game.
You can see those annoying pokes coming from Shinji on the early. I mean, just juke in and out with a parasol. That is one thing that is super annoying. That is the reason why most of the time this Arlie is actually getting banned. But from a while ago, I think that was a very heroic move coming from Ayano Koji when he actually still and secured the dragon, or rather the tyrant, because they got the chain lightning buff, which gives the boost from the magic damage coming from our Oval in there. But for the meantime, we can see the fight happening onto the middle lane. We're in one member down already, which is Shinji on the side of XDG. More members of the OTG is actually gonna go for that. But look at the sunset coming from the lane, killing off our Joyu onto the back line, even the D-Renji as well. But we're not even done, as the triple kill will be given onto Demon Lover. He wants more highlights for himself because from yesterday, he reclaimed it already, and he wants to claim it even further. But he's like, okay, the highlight is actually being given to Shinji. Now I gotta get it again. Now I'm gonna get the triple kill. Now, yes, you deserve it, Demon Lover. You are still as powerful as you are from yesterday.
We saw a great initiation coming from the back lane. Use the Death at Sunset at the right place at the right time, so they get multiple kills against the DOTG. And this is looking tough for our DOTG because you cannot trade those heads against the team of XDG, because XDG is one of those teams that if they get advantage as early as possible, they can consistently punish you one by one. And you see the damage output coming from Sinjia right now, and having this Arlie with the Autumn Storm storming back against the members of our DOTG. And this Mulan, even though you are tanky, you cannot avoid my umbrella.
That is so true. And oh, look at that. We're not even on another Death of Sunset has been used in here onto the back line to knock him still alive, however. But it seems like he's not gonna last, as Kaiser will take him down. But then again, Yuhwan in here will take down the life of our Oval player in here. But it's shut down onto the lane as well from the hands of Zhang Fei. And they will still be able to defend the mid lane tower, but seems like someone is hiding in the bushes. I wonder if they will actually go, and yes, they will. With the juke in and out, Tower Soul use, and they are getting cornered. And this is very dangerous position right now. Unbridled Outburst has been used. Yuhwan in here with the heals, getting invincible, but on the other end of the map, the Arlie will fall down onto the hands of the D-Renji. More pokes here and there, but I think now they will have to calm down a little bit because they don't have Shinji in here as their source of damage.
For the XDG Kaisaya, they need to slow down the game because they get the early game. They have tower takedowns against the OTG, 2 to non-tower exchange, and you see the kill score line. This is a bloody game that XDG wants against the DOTG. And for the DOTG, I want to see how they can pan out some strategies to interrupt the plans of XDG, especially on targeting CG and Owal. If they are able to connect and also shut down those means of fire of damage from the XDG, this is a viable option for them to have a comeback for our game number 1. But you see the gold difference, it's a little bit favorable for the team of our XDG, gathering almost a 1k gold lead on their hand.
That's true. 1k gold lead. I mean, it's not much. It's something that they definitely can still catch up on. We did see quite a few times wherein Zhangfei will secure a kill, so as is Yuan, but I guess we want to see more highlight kills coming from the DRNG, definitely because he's going to be carrying the game onto the lake. But it seems like they're having a tough time making that happen because most of the time, even Lover will actually just target the backline, killing of Joyu as well as Randy. So he's got this focus fire onto this two particular target, making it hard for DOTG to last this fight.
And for the DOTG, they want to rely on their utility, and we saw this jungler Yuan. He needs to have more assistance and to help his teammate during the team fight. He has the heals that can easily replenish the HP bars that are being taken away by the XDG. But you see right now the objective of XDG, putting more siding pressure against the DOTG because that is a long lane Kaisaya. So if you will get the inner and outer turret onto the top and bottom lane, it will expand their map ownage.
That is so true, but we did see that the Mulan just fell down onto the hands of the members of XDG Uzi Orly, and then again, look at that, more folks onto the middle lane. Yuan will fall down just like that. I mean, Orly, his damage now way too hurtful to be at it. Like, if you are gonna be soaking in the damage coming from the Orly, you better watch out. You definitely have to burst him down. But for the meantime, they do have the chain lightning buff from the Tyrant, which will make it hard from the DOTG members in here because all damage and even the magic damage coming from the Orly as well is definitely gonna hurt a lot.
And the tough situation is on the hands of our DOTG because XDG just looking forward to take more territorial ownage against the DOTG and securing the innovation, especially on the Azure Golem and Crimson Golem. It still allows them to downgrade the potential power spikes of this Yuan and as well as this Mulan. But I need to see this JJ up RNG needs to step up, needs a better positioning during the two fights, and with the proper setup of Zhang Fei, I think still there is a little hope that the OTG will come back in this game.
That's so true. I think for as long as the protection coming from the Zhang Fei is there for the DRNG, he'll be able to free hit later on. But yeah, at the same time, I think the itemization of the Mulan is not yet enough to actually help her survive into going for flanks or going for pickoffs. Because many times we've seen just like, Shinji on the early, he's just bursting him down. So this is not a happy Mulan that we're seeing right now for sure. He's not even able to overextend on the other end of the map to actually create the pressure. He is not able to do that because once he sees Arlie, it's like, okay, I'm just gonna hide because the Arlie hurts a lot.
And Arlie is one of those heroes that I'm speaking early on that he secure his main items, he can demolish and just shred off those tank heroes from the team of our DOTG. And we were seeing another team fight for the both teams. That's also with the setup with the multiple knockups, and this is looking tough right now for the team of our DOTG. 3 men down on their side, and XDG just pushing that button to go in and all in, and that's a win again once more for the XDG.
Wow, Demon Lover once more, double kill just on that team fight alone. And I think he was even like chill on that part. He didn't even go for the triple kill. Could have gotten one more kill in there, but the rest of the members of Team DOTG already are under tower, and still Demon Lover would actually respect that. But it seems like there's gonna be already another tower takedown up top as well as onto the middle lane. Might this be the end as soon as possible? Look at the damage coming from the alley, killing off the Junpei in no time, and one more member in here actually getting slowed, getting burst down by in-here. Death of Solid is gonna be used just to try to go for an attempt to go for a kill, but then again on a rampage coming from the alley as he takes down one more member, which is the U1. Now they got definitely the upper advantage in here as all of the minions are now flowing heavily towards the base. More folks coming from the alley, getting off the Renji. He will just go back to the parasol, but then again, the Moonlight will actually take his life at that. But then again, it seems like this is going to be it anytime soon as the members of Team XDG tries to block Square onto the crystal. Killing spree going for the Auraria, and there we go, another Death at Sunset just to show off. And congratulations to XDG for cleanly winning the game 1.
There's no Ross Kaisaya for the team of XDG, proving themselves that they want to capture that back-to-back title fit for them. So this is a best start for them to somehow reach the grand finals once more. And totality of the game, Kaisaya, I want to say that the OTG, they have those potential winning trades, but at the same time, just maximizing all the resources that XTG gathered against the OTG. That's a massive one. Securing sighting pressure, and getting some invasion to the jungle camp against the OTG, making wonders for the XTG to take the game number 1.
They definitely made a lot of wonders just from that game 1. But this is the best of 3 match. Definitely, there's still hope for the fans and supporters of Tomb of the Gods. And yeah, I mean, we do have a lower bracket though, but it's just for the battle for third, but not to mean to actually like go for some chances onto the grand finals. But then again, come to think of it, what makes me wonder is where was the mistake coming from the side of the OTG, right? Was it the draft? Was it the execution at all? For you, Sejkas, what do you think it is that Doom of the Gods must prepare for our second round?
For the second round, I think, Kaisaya, the most important thing that the OTG needs to do or to address, for me, it's more on controlling the macro objectives, because okay, the winning small objectives, they getting some kills, but at the same time tower takedowns is lacking on their side. But for our post-game MVP for the game number 1, we have XDG Demon Lover with the kill status of 818 and having damage of 55.9k and having the bounty, the gold of 10,148. He plays well. He demolished the backline, and especially with the winning conditions that they had, they are able to shut down the main supplier of damage coming from the OTG, just using and initiating in while captivating the members of our DOTG, and that's the winning option and winning man for the team of XCG, no other than Demon Lover.
Definitely, without his help on going for the backline, targeting the Joyu as well as the D-Renji, you know, there's gonna be, I mean, the sources of opportunity for the main sources of damage coming from DOTG won't be gone. So thanks to Demon Lover. And although we see Shinji in here actually did a great job in making use of the Arlie as well. Of course, with the protection coming from the Yarya definitely happily just, you know, it's a free choosing coming from the Yarya. And I go to Arlie, or I make use of my Verdant Protector onto a lane, doesn't matter. Also onto Kaiser, doesn't matter as well. But yeah, looking at the itemization in here, it seems like, I don't know, is it like if they are gonna go for some cancellation of the sources of magic damage coming from Owol. Although Owol did not get any like kills in here, he definitely did a lot of damage over time. And of course, the CCs as well, which made it super hard from the side of the OTG. So definitely with that, they need a lot of crowd control, anti-crowd control item. They do have, of course, the Boots of Resistance, but of course they weren't able to go onto itemization like that of the Frigid Charge, the Ardent Dominator, and the Sky Dome. So I think that made it hard for them to actually be safe from the CCs coming from the Lady Gen.
And for the XCG, one of the better things that they do during the game number 1, just aggressively attacking the main carries for the team of our DOTG. Thanatos, even though he deals AoE damage with the burst fires, but you know, the backline assassination of Shinji and Demon Lover is too massive for the team of our DOTG just realizing there's limited slashes coming from the Death at Sunset. At the same time, you have Shinji with the Autumn Storm. Then just using the full potential of that Maple Dance just to go in and disengage out, having some great positioning during the team
Mhm.
fight, and having the Invincible Warrior of Ayana Koji. This is a massive blow. You have also the Verdant Protector coming from the Yarya. So there's a lot of problems that the OTG receive against the XCG during our game number one.
Yes, and actually, I'm happy to see, by the way, Lady Jen already because yesterday she was completely banned, like in
Mm.
all of the series. So happy to see Lady Jen, even though she got a little nerf from the patch from July 11th, wherein her damage and poke could actually reduce into the late game. And but of course, the early damage is super improved. So I think that helped XDG a lot in winning the early stages of the game, which also in turn helped out the rest of the teammates in winning team fights. So we saw a while ago wherein just within 1 minute game time, Joyo was actually having a tough time into the middle lane because of the pokes coming from the Lady Jen. And that's primarily because of the boosted or the buffed early game laning damage from the Lady Jen. So I think that was like I think the OTG forgot to ban out the Lady Jen. They were primarily focused on banning out the Julia as well as the Daciao. But yeah, then again, if maybe they can take away the Lady Jen for themselves. We'll see. We'll see.
Hey Saya, I wanna discuss the importance of Lady Jen's role during that game for the XCG. He pokes the stationary heroes from the team of our the OTG, and especially having the Zhang Fei. Even though you are too tanky, but you cannot afford to receive a lot of pokes, spam pokes coming from that Lady Jen, because it can give you so much problem during on setting of team fights for the Zhang Fei, and as well as having the ultimate of this Lady Jen, the destructive deluge. It will give them enough time to slow the members of the OTG for the game number one. So might as well ban the hero that can specifically give you headaches.
Yeah, yesterday she was so bad, and now I wonder from the start of the XDG game, I think maybe all of our teams will either ban her out or take her for themselves. But yeah, for the meantime, Duel of the Gods doesn't want to give Zhang Fei on the hands of XDG, although they actually lost while Zhang Fei was on their hands. We can see the potential, the protection potential of this Zhang Fei. He definitely can soak in a lot of damage, and at the same time, if we talk about late game, he can be just like undying, almost undying as the Kaiser with all of the shields, with all of the tankiness and HP, so it's pretty understandable. Now, the Dacia actually got in the way, but we do have the Lady Jen and Arlie still available for picking, so it makes me wonder if this is something that XCG will actually prioritize later on in this draft. But the Daciao has been having a very good showing from yesterday, as the Daciao definitely can go for surprise attacks whenever you want.
And also, Dashiao has the Leaping Koi Tide for the early lane clearing options. At the same time, you have the in and out option during the team fights because of the Eye of the Whirlpool. But selecting the Lady Sin and Mossy for the team of XDG, I think they wanna capture this Dashiao at the right place at the right time, because if you use the think inside the box, it will give you time to somehow cancel the initial disengagement factor that this Dashiao will provide for his teammate and also for himself.
That's so true. But for the meantime, surprisingly, Arlie is not going to be prioritized by XDG this time. They want to give it away to the hands of Team of the Gods, which they have actually secured already for themselves. Mai Shiranui is actually one of the highly contested heroes as well. Not only here in Clash and Air Cup, but also in many other competitive teams. But in terms of zoning, we do have a lot of that coming from XCG. Now that they have Xiao Chao, who can actually make use of the Meteor Storm, and as well as Motsu, who can actually just go for pokes and creation of space with a Cannon Blast. So that will give a lot of space and room for Lady Sun to actually free hit onto the backline. But of course, Doom of the Gods still also has a lot of potential in making that surprise attacks and pickups as well, given that they have the Mai Shiranui and the Daciao.
the difference between the Mai Shiranui and also the Xiao Kiao for the team of our DOTG and XTG, it's more on for the side of our DOTG. They wanna erase certain heroes, especially during the team fights. They need to somehow cancel the potential scaling of a Lady Sun. So might as well, Mai Shiranui is the suitable hero to do the job to put more pressure against this farm lane hero for the team of XTG, and having the Xiao Kiao, for me, it's more on artillery damage that he needs to provide for his teammate. And at the same time, the group damage was there, and having the magical burst, it can somehow eliminate those offensive strikes coming from the Mai Shiranui. Because if you poke this hero, this is a bad situation, because it's a matter of time when you position yourself during the team fights. It's more on a safe zone, but at the same time, you need to erase a certain hero.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. But now, let's look at the Byron Secure in here coming from the side of XDG. Another source of tankiness in here coming from the side of XDG. Definitely can soak in damage, but at the same time can also set up some team fights, with the forceful suppression that he can actually deal out, gain more shields and some sustain to actually deal more damage. But it will be answered by the Dharma, which is also actually super like. I mean, two of these heroes coming from the side of DOTG. We have the Mai Shiranui and the Dharma. So I think the Lady Sun needs to be very careful on her positioning. Lady Sun is very late game hero in here as well. Well, actually pretty similar to the Arlie, but in terms of scaling, definitely Arlie can dish out more damage into the early in comparison onto the Lady Sun. But they definitely can match up. But the Luna jungle pick in here, been a while. I mean, I'm so excited to see her here into the battlefield, but let's see how she can actually match up as XDG will secure a Nuja final pick in here as the jungle of XDG. So this is looking scary because Nuja definitely can actually just fly, go for the ruin incantation onto anywhere he wants whenever they want to set up a team fight.
And for our team compositions for the game number 2, I must say that Team Doom of the Gods wants to have that better macro objectives, because they want to protect each lanes and protect the most important tower on their side, which is the outer turret onto the middle lane. And having that mobility, the in and out option is there for their side, for the Dashiao with the Eye of the River. So it's more on creating macro objectives for the team of Dooms of the Gods. But for the XDG, they wanna retain their momentum as well during the game number 1. It's more on poking game and giving space to Shinji, because once this Lady Sun erupts, this is a big problem for the DOTG.
I definitely agree on that one. Just like what they are doing right now into the lane, you can see it's just like a spam of cannon blasts in here coming from Matsu, and of course Xiao Qiao definitely can poke out as well. So I guess it's gonna be pretty similar. I mean, anyway, Datsio is actually has some pretty annoying sources of pokes as well, with the Leaping Koi Tide as well as Sea of Fate in here. So I think it's now just a matter of who is gonna have a better skill shot. But talking about skill shot, it seems like there's a better cannon blast in here, and skill shot coming from the Matsu, followed by the Lady Sun final hit in here onto the boss. That is not looking good because we're talking about an Arlie who actually fell down. But hold a thought, because in here we can see Mai Shiranui actually holding on to protect her target. I guess that was very too deep coming from the Lady Sun going under tower, and now there goes the invade. But said Nuja, I'm just gonna be backing away. Our Lady Sun has fallen down, so it's a 1-for-1 trade between the farm laders.
For the team of our DOTG Kaisaya, I must say that this is a good opportunity. Shut down as early as possible the possible power spikes of Shinji. Just shutting him down will give them so much advantage during the team fights, because this Lady Sun will be needing some items to do some damage with the ultimate nutshell. Then you need to secure also the better assistance during the team fight. So as early as possible, the OTG managing to get some free kill or early kills against the Shinji. So they need to continuously do that for the OTG for them to overcome the storm.
That is for sure. Overcome the storm, especially the autumn storm coming from Arlie. But for the meantime, a potential 3v2? No, they're just gonna be calming down. I think they will have to wait for the Overlord and the Tyrant to go up before we'll actually see who will see before we see who will actually get the upper hand from this game. For the meantime, everyone's just going in here onto the middle lane. Ooh, look at that leaping Koi Tide connecting onto the Ninja. What just happened? Meteor Storm has actually been used, but not really connecting onto majority of the target of GOTG, and thus they lost the jungler. That is not looking good from the side of XDG. But for the meantime, invasion into the jungle camp of XDG right now. There's a backup coming from Byron, and in here we can see Luna falling down as well onto the hands of the ladies and the members of the OTG trying to back away, but no afford. We can see that the ire of the Whirlpool has been popped in here. Backups coming from the members of TOTG, but then again, we can see the Dharma will just fall down. Cannon Blast will connect onto the Mai Shiranui, but the Mai Shiranui seems like he won't be able to go for a defense in here onto the middle lane tower. Still, there's a chance, and a poke coming from our ladies and trying to eye onto the target, and this is gonna be. You should have just like gone back. I don't know why he was actually staying in there. But that's what you get when you try to be a little brat on that particular fight. Oh no.
Oh my god.
Oh.
This is looking tough right now, Kaisaya, for the team of the OTG, because this Lady Sun, even though he is being punished as early as possible, he managed to climb back with the ultimate nutshell. He connected that against a member of the OTG, and it gives them hope that, okay, I have a slow start, but this time I'm just reloading my guns for the team of our XTG, and seeing the macro objective, both teams being careful, just protecting their outer turrets and having the fast farming, fast fishing to take this objective. But the Tyrant belongs to the team of our XDG, and that is Ayana Koji will get that one.
That's so true. I mean, they've got position, they've got the safe space and doing that. But for the meantime, look at that very nice blossoming fan as well as the meteor storm connecting, coming from the XAG member. But they are actually onto the downside right now as members of EOTG tries to obliterate them one by one. Owo still trying to escape, but have been coming from the Byron, but they definitely are outnumbered in here. We can see in here Truth Mantra coming, or rather Truth Mantra coming from the Dharma, but you know, of course, not going to killing anyone, but that is good news coming from the early DOTG, killing of a lot of members from the side of XDG.
What a bounce back for the team of our DOTG, just securing those counter kills. It will give them so much time to gather some golden EXP for them to have some gap against the XDG, and seeing the gold difference is mounting close to 1,100 gold lead for our DOTG, so that is a great signs of life for them to force the game number 3 for our first semifinal series here for the Clash on Air Cup Season 2. But for the team of our XDG, I think they need to have more time because they have enough projectiles coming from this Bosi. You have the Cannon Blast for initial poking damage, and also Owol has those spammable skills that can somehow put some threat against those first line of defense from the team of our DOTG. And Shinji needs more time. He needs more item to deal enough damage when it needed the most.
That's so true, but for the meantime, we can see XDG already starting off the Overlord in here. This is quite dangerous because everyone else is actually healthy on the side of the OTG, but meantime, they're going to be securing that with a quick smite as well. Well, Noja is very low. He has to back away, so it is not a good opportunity for XDG to actually start the fight because they will just back away. But I think something is happening onto the top side. We can see Demon Slayer actually going for the 1v1 tussle in here. Oh, he's so low, and he will not escape from the hands of Luna. He tried his best. It seems like this is not a team lover from our first game and from last night, but XDG will actually go for a secure on the tower onto the bottom lane, but we're not going to get on. Meteor Storm has actually been using here onto the middle lane. Well, we can see Luna actually diving in, trying to go for a target onto the back line of XDG, killing off the Xiao Qiao as well as it's just Xiao Qiao and Demon Lover just came back alive. But the tower, the bot lane part of the map, is secured by our Lady Stern, who is now trying to go for escape, getting slowed down, getting poked. Will he be able to survive? He will kill the Mai Shiranui, and he will too survive.
What a rolling raid coming from that Lady Sun of CGA. He goes initially for the high terrain defense on the jungle camp, and at the same time releasing the ultimate nutshell, just giving nuts against the Mai Shiranui. And this is one of the problems of the OTG right now, because if this Shinji has maximized the full potential of the rolling raid, he can do whatever he wants during the team fights. He can reposition, he can go for the retake, and as well as give some headaches against those assassinating heroes from the team of our DOTG. But having the Luna under team composition for the DOTG, they need more time and also have a better placement during the team fights, because he connects those crescent slides together with the new moon. He will try to polish the members of our XDG. Meanwhile, Think Inside the Box will be released by our Mosey, but Mai Shiranui will secure a kill, and that's a good sign. They kill Shinji.
That is so true. And now there is a position from our Arlie as well as the Daciao to actually get that space up top to maybe actually go for a push onto the tier 2 tower, the inner tower on the top side. But for the meantime, Thanatos as well as Luna is in here. Oh, look at that ult coming from our Luna. Meteor Storm has been popped though, killing off in here our Mai Shiranui. But then again, Demon Lovers is soaking in a lot of damage. Will he actually be able to survive? Yes, he will, but the backup coming from Nuja is in here, just scaring off the members of Team DOTD, and now they fall back and back to top. Seems like both of the teams don't want to give away their first tower in here onto the B.
Because that is a big problem if you will release or maybe not protecting your middle outer turret for the both teams, because it will expose the purple, the Azure Golem and Crimson Golem on their side, and especially those jungle objectives. Even though that some small camps is not a big impact during the early game, but those little gold that you will get during the small camps will give you small wins for the both teams. So might as well protect at all costs your most important turret for our game, because if you have that outer turret onto the middle lane, it will give you hope that the team of your opponents cannot push or maybe take away any objectives, especially for the jungle area.
Meteor Storm has been popped in here. Nothing for that onto the hands of Owo. Before the meantime, actually, will fall down onto the hands of the Lady Sun, trying to poke him and pick him up. For the meantime, still a win coming from the side of TOTG as they secure the tower up top. But for the meantime, Nuja actually went on to that Ruin Incantation onto the targets on the side of TOTG, killing off or taking down the HP bars of TOTG. Even so, the life of our Daxiao in here. Now, what is happening? We can see the top of actually a killing spree, even killing off Shinji, and there we're not even done onto the team fight as they still exchange kills. Truth Mantra has been used. There goes some pokes coming from Luna as well. Almost taking down the life of Owo, but really nice trick out. Still trying to target Owo. Really nice succession of kills coming from Luna in there. Will he still be able to survive? Seems like yes, in here he will, because the backup coming from the Arlie just came in. Healing of Ayano Koji as well. Wow, TOTG, I think in here XDG really made a mistake during the drafting phase by giving the Arlie away from onto the hands of TOTG.
And for our game number 2, it's a different story right now for our DOTG against XCG. For the first game, they played aggressively but not taking any turrets against the XCG. So this time, they're focusing on the macro objective, getting away the outer turrets, the inner turrets, and also protecting their main carries. Will be a good signs of really for them to force the game number 3, and having this Mai Shiranui of Thanatos creating wonders for them, and another series stab with the new moon, just seeing the full potential, the backline reach coming from this Luna will be a massive blow against the members of XCG, because he can penetrate on those frontliners, and reaching Owol and most probably CJ will be a big problem for the XCG. But seeing that misdirection play, that's a kill for the team of XCG.
Yeah, you're right about that. A really good misdirection play coming from the Mai Shiranui. Just for the cost of his life. What we can see in here, will there be a steal in here? Still secure in the side of Team DOTG right now. That Overlord, which is going to give them some buff later on onto the lanes. But for the meantime, looking at the team fight right now, we can see that the Dharma already has fallen down. The rest of the members of Team DOTG are going far away from each other. Their formation has actually been broken down by the members of DOTG, but they still have some life in here, as we can see the Shadow Vanguard already walking towards the bottom lane part of the map, which maybe can help them go for more tower attacks.
And also just get some high ground defense towers against the XDG. If the OTG will secure that base high ground turrets, it will be a great opener for them to finally close the game for our game number 2. Even though that XCG has a lead when it comes on the kill scoreline 12-11, but you see the macro objective that the OTG plays right now, and we will be seeing another casualty for the team of our XCG, and that is Ayana Koji going overextending against the OTG members, and that's a ambush from the members of our the OTG.
Really bad position coming from the Nuja. Wasn't even able to make use of his ruin incantation to save his life. But then again, I mean, the Arlie already hurts a lot here. It makes me wonder what itemization this XCG has already. The Dormant will fall down. However, no more frontliner in here or a flanker coming from the side of the OTG. But we do still have the Luna to potentially do that. But for the meantime, in here, look at that. The Nav is actually trying to knock back a target. But seems like a member of XCG was able to escape anyway. So maybe they will definitely need a Dharma to actually successfully win another potential team fight.
And one of the things that the OTG needs to connect right now, they need the high precision connection of the Enlightenment Mantra coming from this Dharma. It will give them so much time to catch multiple members against the XTG, and knocking them back, that's a big dime if they wanna cut off guard the members of XCG. And for the XCG, I think this Demon Lover needs to step up. During the game number 1, he is the pest against the DOTG. So this time being, I think this Byron can create more on initiation prowess, just putting some pressure against the members of our DOTG, and most probably just to spot out this RD, because JJ's RD right now is very deadly. He can give you so much volume when it comes on dishing out damage because of the Maple Dance. He can reposition during the team fights, and with the Autumn Storm, he can give you so much headaches during those crucial situations.
Definitely true. I mean, because a while ago when we were seeing Thanatos actually going in for the flanks here and there, he just gets first down with the damage coming from Shinji. So yeah, let's just leave it to Dharma, and then maybe followed by Thanatos, Mai Shiranui. So maybe that is gonna be helping them a lot. In the meantime, they still have to respect, of course, Hook. Then the members of XTG can actually dish out with the Matsu damage, and even with the Xiao Qiao damage as well. But definitely, we can say it. The ball is onto the hands of TOTD. I love the pressure that the Luna has been doing up top as well. This is a really nice 1-3-1 position right now. Maybe the Dharma can actually go into the bot instead of the Maishinui, because Maishinui just like can easily be taken down with the damage of Shinji right now. We've seen her fall down a couple of times, so I think now it's a really nice siege coming from DOTG, but we see the team fight happening already. Think inside the box wasn't that as successful, but for the meantime we have some minions trying to hit the tower onto the bottom lane part of the map as well. Do you take note? Luna is actually not even joining the team fight onto the bottom lane part of the map as of yet, but the pressure is definitely in the position to even take. The Shadow Overlord is very much free onto the hands of the OTG.
Kaisaya, as we take a look on the gold difference, I think the OTG has the upper hand when it comes on tankiness from their front line. At the same time, you have the damage output that this RD can provide for their team, and also the knockback effect coming from Thanatos as well. So it's more on for the XTG needs to wait for the errors that the OTG will be conducted during our game number 2. And I want to see the perfect plantation of that thing inside the box coming from this Mosi, because if he connects well the thing inside the box and caught the most crucial players here for the DOTG, XCG can somehow bounce back for our game number 2, and most probably to have a good sweep against the DOTG. But we need to remember, the DOTG members is very squishy. They have a lot of ability. They have a lot of knockback factors, skills that can be given against XCG, and you have also the in and out option coming from the Dashiao.
Talking about, however, the Meteor Storm already has been used in here by the Xiao Qiao, bursting down the life of the Dacia, which I have mentioned a while ago, but still gotta respect what lead currently DOTG has, because they also still have the Shadow Vanguard walking down bottom part of the map, and within 48 seconds, I mean, once the Shadow Vanguard already walked towards nearby the tier 3 tower down the high ground tower in the bottom lane part of the map, they will definitely have a good position here. Even the Luna can actually just solo later on the Shadow Tyrant, which will give them the Chain Lightning buff, which will empower the magic damage in here. But for the meantime, the fight has been happening in here. Look at this, Demon Lover will fall down, trying to take down the life of that Maishi Danui, but fall down onto the hands of our Thanatos, or rather our Arlie. But then again, Nuja will fall down too. Now there's just 3 members left onto the side of Team XDG, and 1 member in here. Luna will fall down, but fortunately he will gone back to life. But for the meantime, this is now under tower. They don't care. 1 member left. Oval is left in here, and there are some minion waves actually flowing up top. And it seems like TOTG will actually make this win up against XDG. They want to claim the title as we make a 1-1 score in here on this series. Congratulations to Doom of the Gods, dooming the lives of XDG.
What a play for the team of Doom of the Gods, just having that resiliency even though they lose the game number 1, but heading for our game number 2, it's more on a different ball game, different story for our Clash on Air Cup season number 2. And based on yesterday's results, it's more on 2-0 sweep, but this time we will be seeing a force out game number 3 for a opening series here for the semifinals for our tournament. And Doom of the Gods, just I think main factor here is the safe zone of the farm lane, especially this RD from the team of our Doom of the God. As long as the farm lane or the main carries having the safe zone, gather their items well, and having that full potential to secure their better placement during the team fights, it's not a joke that they can bring a lot in the table. And this RD is very squishy, can destroy the tanky heroes from the team of our XDG. And I think one of the biggest factor there also when the itemization builds, because it's more on doing some items that can really help you during those tight situation. And the Pure Sky, I see the items for the both teams, especially for our Clash laner, they build Pure Sky for temporary damage immunity or damage reduction. So it's more on just giving a lot of options for them to live another day for the DOTG.
For the meantime, let us show you who our MVP is from that particular game. It is gonna be, okay, I'm sorry if I pronounced this wrongly, but I'm gonna try. Han Hao Jing De Shofa. Okay, congratulations to you for getting that MVP with a KDR score of 814 damage. Now look at this massive 113,000 and a gold of 16,000. We did see a lot of good plays coming from Ken Haojing, wherein he will actually go for the amazing searing stab onto the back line and then go for the new moon. So I think it was amazing that he also just focus fire onto the right target, like that of Shinjie as well as Owo, because these are the 2 squishy heroes that we have from the side of XCG.
And for our post-game result, we saw that the team of the OTG realizing their major problem during the game number 1. It's more on the tower takedowns that they cannot get during the game number 1. But heading for our game number 2, Kaisaya, it goes to show that they adjusted big time. They take away outer turrets, especially putting siding pressure, because if you put pressure to those long lanes, especially top and bottom lane, it will give so much problem for your opponent to respond. It's either just defend or maybe clear the heading minion wave for that certain lane. At the same time, just to have that total territory map ownage for our team, the OTG. And seeing this Luna having 113,000 damage output against the team of XCG, it goes to show that he's ready to assassinate the backline. Just punish Obol, just punish and headhunt against this Shinjie. Because during the game number 1, Shinjie and Obol, and as well as Demon Lover, is the main piece that creates more of a sort of problem against the DOTG. So this time for the game number 2, okay, we realize our problem. So we need to shut down those main carries at the same time to downgrade the confidence level of Demon Lover. So this time they focus more on punishing Demon Lover, not allowing this Byron to be a force to reckon with. So this is a ball game for the team of our DOTG.
That's true. I mean, everyone almost on the side of XDG was forced to build the Succubus cloak item just
Yeah.
to, just to survive, coming from all those magic damage, coming from the Daciao, the Arlie, My Nui, Luna, my oh my. I mean, you really definitely, but it wasn't enough. It made the lives of these players still super hard because also, again, from the damage, late game damage, most especially late game damage coming from the Arlie. And I think that's like, the discrepancy. Like once you give the items for the Arlie as well, it's gonna look scary. But then again, it was overall a really good team play, I must say, because they were very persistent about putting the pressure on the other end of the map so that the members of Team XCG will not be able to clump up together in one place because they're also powerful in doing all those pokes, right? Like because of this Xiao Qiao as well as the Matsu as well. And unfortunately, we did not see a very good use of Nuja's ruin incantation. Most of the time he will just like die onto the hands of our players from the side of Doom of the Gods. But let's see how this one will go. Do take note that this is a global ban pick mode, so all of the heroes that they have used in here from game 1 and 2 for each team, they cannot use anymore, only within a particular team. So let's see how the draft will go.
And we want to see different flavors when it comes on selecting those heroes that can lead them the way to the grand finals here for the Clash on Air Cup season number 2. So it's a crucial thing to do right now. If they have some coaches or analysts, you need to practice more on depth hero pool for each players and also the flexibility of each roles of each heroes that they gonna use, because if you have pocket picks, it can somehow give you advantage to become unpredictable for our series. And just discussing the global ban pick system, it's a big testament and big challenge for the both teams, because if you use a certain hero, you cannot use it for this game number 3. So it's more on bringing on their aces for our game number 3. This is a best of 1 game. This is a grand finals ticket if you win the series or you win this game.
That's so true. It's like, okay, let's go back to reset with the idea of you're not going to be able to make use of the heroes you've used from games 1 and 2. And that is why we can see that Daciao and Dolia has actually been banned out by Doom of the Gods against XCG because XCG hasn't used it from a while ago as of yet. And for sure, there's no need to ban out the Arlie in here because of both of the teams have made use of that already as well. But for the meantime, Long is a pretty new hero that we have in here, not even 2 weeks young, but we've seen a couple of times Rain the Long making use of his infinite vastness. He can actually just go all in or be able to go back to safety. So in a way, he has a way to actually go for some survivability for himself.
And also one of the strengths of the Lung, because he has 4 blades. You know, the Flaming Palm, if you connect that Flaming Palm, it will give you 1 Dragon Soul, and this will equalize to a physical damage as well as a true damage. So that's a great idea, because if you will deal true damage against tank heroes, even though the frontliners coming from the team of Doom of the Gods has high physical damage or high physical defense either, or high magical defense either for this frontliners, but you can penetrate, you can deal damage with those true damages coming from the Lung.
That's so true. And now, seeing the Sunbin, actually a favorite. Although, like the Sunbin in Facebook groups, you would usually see, okay, she's kind of being hated because, okay, like what is this? You could have gotten some better roamer in here, like maybe like that of the Leotian. But Sunbin in here, I actually like this particular hero. Definitely, she can give you movement speed. She can actually burst down particular targets with her bombs, and at the same time can give slows against your opponent. So I think for as long as this is used to actually, just either go all in or all out because of the mobility, I think she is definitely worth making use.
And speaking of the resiliency for the both teams, it's more on releasing their aces picks. Having the Sunbin, you will have that time lapse that can help you during the team fights and giving more options to help your teammates to provide additional moments to come back from a bad start. And having the U1 for the XDG is goes to show that they will add more on flexibility under team composition, because this U1 can be positioned as your main jungler or most probably your mid laner. So it's more on utility composition type, more on healing, more on group up setups coming from the XDG. And for the Doom of the Gods, having the Alain and also the Shangguan and Consort Q, it goes to show that they want some heads. They wanna access the backline against the XTG, and if they are able to reach the backline, most probably they can create more advantage and also gap against the XTG.
Yeah, that's true. But now looking at the third and fourth pick of Doom of the Gods in here, the Alain and the Pei. With the Pei, definitely you would probably expect faster gank. So most especially when he is in his Tiger form, definitely can rush out towards maybe the Clash Lane and help out kill of the Ata together with the Alain. But Zhuangzi actually being picked in here as the final support, or rather roam pick of Doom of the Gods. We do know that they want to stop out all the CZs, the slows that might come out from the stuns of the Yuan as well as the Sunbeam. So I like it as a way to counter out CZs, but you know, sometimes I have like, okay, maybe you have to really buy some time for the Zhuangzi to actually give himself, like, you know, the tankiness that he needs to in order to protect the consort here.
Because Kaisaya, the roamer of Doom of the Gods, is more on cleansing and removing all the heavy crowd controls that this Ata can bring, and also this Musashi. So might as well, okay, we will having some purify skills or debuff factor for the team of the OTG, and having the Shangguan with the finishing stroke, he can somehow distribute a great amount of damage against the team of our XTG. But for the XTG, they adding versatility under team composition, positioning Owol as your U1 for the mid lane. It goes to show that you want that healing effects to be evident and confident for their team fight options, and at the same time just to be aggressive because of the unlimited slashes coming from the Musashi. He can knock up you and most probably just can cancel those disengagement factor that the OTG wants to do against the XTG.
Oh, look at that. I mean, Long just bullying out the consortium down bottom part of the map. He didn't even have the ultimate available as of yet. Just a Flaming Palm as well as the downpour being utilized to put down the life of that consortium. So, I mean, without the support coming from the Zhuangzi, just leaving alone the consortium, it's going to be a little bit scary. For the meantime, in here, an attempt coming from Owol to actually go for a vision. But he is actually super low in here, getting poked out by the human form of our Pei. Will still be able to survive. And yeah, everyone's just go back to success, so it's still a equal footing for both of the teams.
This is a more on disciplined play for the team of XTG and the OTG. They cannot afford to make or commit some mistakes as early as possible, and you wanna take all the necessary objectives that you will be needing for you to have reach your full potential, especially your team composition spikes for our game number 3. And for the DOTG, it's more on carrying the load or carrying the momentum that they gather during the game number 2 win. And for the XTG, it's more on quick adjustments because they are the favorites to win the title once more here for the OnAir Cup Season 2, because they are the Season 1 champs. So this is a big challenge for the XTG, because if they cannot overcome this DOTG's momentum, this will be the end of the road for them.
That's so true. You of course you would want the 2-hit win, but let's see about that, because this is very risky. It is a best of 1 once more. For the meantime, you can see a potential 1v2 situation that's going to happen on the top side. I wonder if Demon Lover actually was able to detect if the Shangguan is actually somewhere just over the bushes. But for the meantime, we do know that he's actually missing onto the middle lane. But for the meantime, stuns in here from the Tragic Beauty coming from our U1 will connect, but not everyone will actually commit onto the fight, and Demon Lover was actually successful in just being safe onto the top side part of it.
just avoiding risky plays. That's the main idea for the both teams as of the moment, and just looking forward for those opportunity. They cannot trade those objectives that can give them so much problem in this game, and specifically looking at the goal difference, it's a balance 8.83 for the both teams. But we will see that XTG needs to have more time to have better spacing for their main supply of damage for the game, because if they invest more time on the bulbs, they can easily punish the members of the OTG. But you see the Death Sunset being casted by this Elaine just to disengage and avoid those pokes coming from Awa.
That's true, and even Atta was able to make use of his goat chip already as well. But to no afford, actually he was able to get a target, but everyone was just able to go back to safety. Yeah, everyone's like playing safe, like quite a bit in here, waiting for avoiding risky play. But for the meantime, you can see the tussle already going up top already. This is going to be a potential 3v1 situation with Shangwan wanting to join the team fight, but then again, members of XCG was able to back away. And we do know the Tyrant, the Overlord, is already a free for taking. Seems like not everyone's going to be positioning for that for the meantime, as they want to be 100% sure that they're safe taking that objective.
Safe zone is the key to victory right now for the team of XDG and the OTG, and just playing it simple. Go for the objective, just protect those outer turrets under pockets. Is a big chance for them to have the certain opening that they really needed to get against the both teams. And for this type of plays, it's more on just winning small trades. That's the most important thing that you need to do. If you will get some invasion to the jungle camp, or just stealing some jungle objectives against your opponent, it is a good investment for you to have that upper hand.
So true. Unfortunately, we just did not see the attempt coming from the OTG on going for a steal onto the Tyrant from a while ago, but we did see that Ayana Koji was able to actually secure that. But a bush fight, a surprise attack coming from the side of XDG in here, killing off the Consortium, but for the meantime, they're going to be continuing onto the team fight. A chase is in here. Look at that damage coming from the long, but we think the slow coming in from the Sunbin as well. And up top, we can see Demon Lover actually getting ganked by two members, Faye as well as the Elaine onto the top side. He will fall down, and seems like DOTG will be able to go for the tower take up top. Let's see if members of XTG though will actually be able to go for the mid objective. Unfortunately, no, because it is well guarded by the Juangzi, as well as I can't see who that is, but that is a lane.
That's a good trading objective for the both teams, just getting some outer turrets against each other. It's more on creating macro objectives and securing this. Overlord still coming from all the way. What is you want?
Oh, he did not even have a smite. It was just all out some, tragic beauty and mournful tempo. But for the meantime, the pokes here and there into the middle lane. But yeah, that was like, okay, that was very surprising.
Oh my god, what a steal for the team of our XDG. Just having no smite, no problem for this owl from the U1. And these objectives or those trades, that's a really cautious moments from the DOTG, because you can't afford to give away those important objectives, because it will help your opponent to have some push through, especially on having that additional manpower to push the lanes against the team of XCG. And one of the good things that the OTG doing this game number 3 is more on being the momentum setter, even though that the XTG is very cautious and very careful, but at the same time they're matching their tempo and not overextending or not over responding on the actions of the XTG.
That's true. But there's now actually like the vanguards coming from the hands of XDG, so they have at least the source of like pressure, just a little bit of pressure. At least these vanguards are a bit tankier in comparison to the cannons or the ballista at this 7-minute game time, so it will help them give a little pressure. But I think they also have to think of a way for the consortium in here to be able to go for the free hit. And we have yet to see Shang Guan go for the finishing stroke, because I think we haven't seen that as of yet.
And especially just discussing the potential damage output that Thanatos can bring with the finishing stroke. I think it's more on the high precision, high connection of this finishing stroke must be conducted by this Shangguan, and specifically the vaulting shot needs to connect well for this concert too. If he connects the vaulting shot at the right place at the right time, it can give the OTG great upper hand during the team fights, just lowering the HP bars from the team of our XDG, but XDG having the healing effect coming from all wall. That's his main job right now. Go for the OP strategy, the ultimate bonding experience, and just be a utility that can help and heal, can give so much on the table for the XDG mid laner.
Caught in the bush in here. I'm not sure if Zhuangzi will be able to survive. Fortunately, he has that innate nature's will, able to survive all of the CCs. But I love the pressure that the lane is actually doing up top. And in here with the pressure, really good flow minion waves. We can see, however, the Tyrant will be secured by XDG on that one. They do have the Chain Lightning buff, so it's time for TOQ definitely to back away. But you look at that, despite the pressure coming from the lane up top, I mean, they weren't successful in, fully committing onto the team fight because, again, the Chain Lightning buff is onto the hands of XDG right now.
And that's a big problem because it will add some firepower and minion clearing for the team of our XDG to gather or gain that buff coming from the enhanced Tyrant that they get during this minute timer. But you will see this is a total rapture. Take down the outer turret onto the mid lane, and it will expose the Azure Golem and Crimson Golem against the DOTG. So that's a bad sign for the DOTG because exposing your Azure Golem and Crimson Golem, that's a shot call for the team of XDG to invade and just to own the jungle camp of the DOTG.
That was very fast. It's like just they stepped under the tower of outer tower of DOTG into the mid, and then it's gone because of the damage coming along as well. But yeah, for the meantime, this is a really big position for XDG to. They can decide on whether they want to take the Tyrant, but it seems like they're going to go for the Shadow Tyrant this time before the Chain Lightning buff that they want. And after that, they can actually even still try to go for a chase. In here, Atai is actually already walking towards that. I wonder if there will be an attempt for a steal because he's trying to disrupt that. Unfortunately not. Hay will still be able to secure that for themselves, and at least it's a 1-for-1 exchange in terms of objective.
And for the both teams, it's more on playing with calmness. They are playing a high precision ball game that they cannot react or just overvaluing the possible threats and the pros and cons for the both teams. And seeing the low kill scoreline, it's more on focusing on the objectives, just securing some jungle resources, taken away against your opponent. But you will see the damage coming from this Wolves, just releasing his blades at the right place at the right time.
That's so true. I mean, the long is super scary. Coming with this, although the best stuff. But for the meantime, Yuan will actually already fall down. Ata already made use of the ghost ship. But then again, everyone else will just back away because they will still want to respect the damage that the consortium can actually do. But then again, you know what? I mean, at this 11-minute game time, I'm still hungry for wanting to see a finishing stroke, man.
Yeah, exactly. I want to see the great connection of the finishing stroke because in this entire ball game, Kaisaya, I think the finishing stroke does not connect anyone from the XDG, but you will see the ghost ship coming from this Ata just creating some openings for the team of the OTG, and you will see the bolting shots coming from the concert too, but he will be fall down with the double kill coming from the deadly swords coming from our Wolves, but Wolves will be the trade for the team of our XDG, and that is a 4-2 exchange in favor for the XDG.
Died from the time bomb. This lane is from the hands of the Sunday. That's actually one of the most annoying. Like, oh, I want to survive. I survive, but then again, you catch a time bomb coming from the Sunbeam. That's super annoying. I mean, this is why we love. We see a Sunbeam in competitive plays like this. And then again, I thought I just saw an attempt coming from Thanatos for wanting to make use of the finishing stroke, but then again, I think he made use of that to retreat, rather than to actually engage. So unfortunately, there's no finishing stroke against like 4 or 5 opponents as of yet from the side effects to the OTG.
And winning conditions here, Kaisaya, for the team of our DOTG is to maximize the full potential of the butterfly effect coming from the Zhuangzi. Because it will help you to somehow cancel the possible threat of the ghost ship coming from Demon Lover, and as well as just avoiding the dual deck ultimate coming from the Musashi of Ayano Koji. So it's more on maximizing the most important cleansing skill coming from the butterfly effect of this roamer from the DOTG. And for me, I think XCG needs to invest more on their fight initiation, because they have heals coming from Owl, and you have that DPS that Wolves can provide during the team fights.
Pretty much, pretty much. But a pressure is already present onto the bottom lane part of the map. Everyone's just waiting for a pick off, to be honest. Seems like XDG wants that pick off to happen first. Same as for DOTG. Despite XDG having this 1k gold right now, they still, I mean, it's just 1k. This is something that DOTG can still create, like they can still create a miracle out of this one. Because, you know, just one mistake coming from XDG, like let's say potentially taking down Wolves, our long player on XDG side, you know, it can turn the tables around. So I think that's the reason why XDG in here just waiting for the right time to actually pick up a target.
And also, just using the battle spells at the right place at the right time is the most effective way to give opportunities for you to have some advancement during the team fights. And you will see that EOTG being careful, just not allowing the team of XDG to take away the outer turret, especially onto the top lane, because that is a long lane to be prohibited against the XDG. But you will see Musashi, Ayano Koji will secure that Tyrant for the team of our XDG. Meanwhile, K will pay the price by taking this Overlord for the DOTG.
Right. Pay will pay the price. 1-for-1 objective take, but I'm gonna give it to on the side of the OTG as they were able to take down one tower up top. So that is a 2-for-1 trade. So it is a threat. I mean, from consecutive objectives already, the OTG took away 2 overlords, which means they are having the advantage on push onto the lanes. While XDG is more onto the team fights with the chain lightning buffs. And the OTG, knowing that, they are avoiding the team fights that XDG is actually looking for. So I think it's a wise decision that they have. But for the meantime, might there be a potential clash in here that will happen with the Tragic Beauty as well as the Mournful Tempo trying to connect. This U1 is trying to connect. As of the meantime, knowing that they have the buff, as usual, the OTG will just back away.
And for the XDG, they wanna have that 5v5 situation battle against the DOTG, but DOTG just using their strength because of the split pushability coming from this lane. This is a hard time that XDG will receive against this DOTG for our game number 3, and just not allowing to play your tempo. That's the main thing of beauty for the DOTG. Just having that 4-1 setup, just group up with 4, then let a lane do his job. Just put some pressure, not allowing to force some advancement to take away the silent pressure against the camps of our DOTG. But the XDG needs more on the pickoff. If they see the outage when it comes on lacking of towers, so might as well punish the members of the OTG.
And in here, is this the finishing stroke we're looking for? Not really connecting onto particular targets right now, but he will fall down onto the ends of the long. Real nice usage of the Infinite Sadness as of now, but there's a chase in here coming from the side of XDG right now, taking down the life of the Zhuangzi, and it is 5v3 situation. I was actually about to say that, oh no, the DOTG was able to catch up in terms of hold and in terms of map position, but because of that aggressive move coming from the lane as well as the Shangguan onto the bottom lane jungle camp of XDG, the tables again have yet turned around. It is now onto the ball. The ball is onto the hands of XDG, but I love the push that the Pei is actually doing down bot in here just to create the pressure to force away the members of XDG to back away.
Total side lane pressure. That's the objective right now for the team of our DOTG. Just getting the high ground defense onto the bottom lane against the XDG. It will give them enough time to put some pressure and also have that enhanced minion on their feet. And the DOTG, but look at that lane. Even though you have the death at sunset, but there is no way you will escape from the verge of 4 members of the XDG.
Unfortunately, he did not have it. Shangwon will fall down as well. I mean, the two casualties from a while ago are again the casualties in here. But on the other end of the map, again, it is a 5v3 situation right now under tower. Already, XDG members are eyeing onto the members of the OTG. Long will take down the life of the Pei. They don't have the minion waves, have to wait a little bit, but they're trying to actually, get the tower damage and poke this down already. And they are successful. Now they're just gonna wait for that minion waves onto the top lane part of the map. Zhuangzi tried to shot the members, but he will die in the end. So the rest of the members of Team XDG are now focused firing onto the base, but we still see a persistent consortium as well as the lane trying to defend their base, and now no more towers. The rest of the members in here will still try to go for some kills, but then again, U1 will fall down, and then they have to wait on the base! The base of XDG right now! The minions actually made it a win! Congratulations to Doom of the Gods taking down our Season 1 champion, XDG! Wow!
Eliminating the defending champs for our Clash on Air Cup Season 1. This is a new season, new breed of upcoming rising champions, Doom of the Gods, just showing the Doom against the members of the XDG, the siding pressure, the base high ground shutdown that Pei conducted for the team of our DOTG, paying the price, paying the interest against the XDG. They are able to cement the win, and I think that is a miraculous win for the DOTG, because the XDG just forcing out, or just forcing the team fight and taking those crucial crystal for the team of our DOTG, but the defense coming from Alain and also the stronghold of Shangguan just providing all the safe zone, and also the Winions is winning it.
Right, the Winions, and I gotta give it to Pei because he gave the most pressure in here. I mean, if it is not detected by the game as the MVP, I'm still gonna give that to MVP onto the Pei, because I mean, all right, fine. It was like a hard carry for the Pei, to be honest, and it was a pain in him. And many times you can see. I mean, Consortium really didn't shine on that one. Zhuangzi really a good pick in terms of like just canceling out all of the CCs. But what the sad part in that game was actually Alain and Shangguan not really also like shining at their best. We did not see a really satisfying finishing stroke. So I think the strategy of Pei to just work around and okay, I'm just gonna create a pressure onto the bottom lane part of the map because they're just there. So I think he deserves the MVP. I don't know if our pro team will actually give him the MVP, but I guess we're gonna be relying onto the stats from the game, but we will find out.
And on our post-game MVP, this is our Alain with the kill stat assist of 232, having the 113,000 damage with a gold of 10,235. But you see, on that last play, I would like to commend the Clash lane from the team of our DOTG, because he provides the minion clearing, and especially during the team fights, he provides the AoE damage that he can produce against the team of our XDG, and at the right mix of combinations, he managed to somewhat lessen the pressure, especially on the base rush coming from XDG. They are forcing the crystals to be taken down against the DOTG, but the minions doesn't enough for the team of our XDG, so the super minions onto the bottom lane will finish it off for the team of our DOTG.
Yeah, that's true. But now we take a look at our stats, our game results in here. It's not really a lovely KDA that we can see in here on the side of DOTG, but it's more like the strategy that they have to do. But we did see how Wolves was actually like giving that hurt a lot. He do have the Starbreaker item as well against the tankiness of, at least against a lane, and how the Zhuangzi is actually building himself as a tanky target. And I think that in terms of like the clashes, the team XDG would usually find it and unfortunately the OTG will just back away whenever they want to fight. So I think overall it's a good team strategy coming from the side of the OTG in here, and it went so well. And I think, you know what, because they do have the Zhuangzi on their lineup, they don't have to build, you know, all of them to have the boots of resistance. So they have the anti-physical damage item, or rather the boots, up against the long as well. But then again, overall, it's good play that was demonstrated to us by DOTG, and which is again now moving forward to the finals later on.
And proceeding for our grand finals, the first team to have a chance to grab the new champion title for our Clash on Air Cup season number 2, the team of DOTG from Malaysia. And still congratulations for the XDG reaching our final 4, but defending their crown will be a elusive dream right now for them.
That's true. But then again, that was just, guys, the first series of tonight, and it ended up on a full, you know, 3-game best of 3. And I think, I mean, I wonder if it's gonna be the same as this match between Sky Dragon Gaming versus Rival Esports, which are 2 Malaysian teams as well. But yeah, sad for the XDG fans, but I'm excited to see who will be the next champion for our season 2 of Clash on Air Cup. But for the meantime, we're just gonna be heading on to a really short break. Again, we're casters. I'm Kaisaya. With me is Sedge. Guys, we're so happy to bring you that Game 1 action later on. We'll see you on Series 2. See you guys in a bit. Bye.